Welcome to a special edition week of the Infinite Energy Podcast with Kay and Shi.
Why is it so special? Well, if you're watching on video, you already see that our background is different. But if you're listening, let us tell you, this episode is coming at you from our family business, the Squeeze In Breakfast and Lunch Restaurant.
That's right. We are inside a Squeeze In location right now. And today we're talking all about the energy of Squeeze In.
Hi, we're sisters Kay and Shi, and we're the hosts of the Infinite Energy Podcast.
We believe that everyone has the power to live a more energized, optimistic, and fulfilling life.
In every episode, we share tips and techniques for harnessing your own power and creating the life you deserve.
Get ready to ignite and discover the limitless power of infinite energy. All right, what a fun episode for us to get to do today. The energy of Squeeze In. If you've been with us for a long time, or maybe this is your first time with us, one of the things to absolutely know about Kay and Shi is that we got our start in a family business. We like to say forged in the fires of a family business, a family restaurant business. And 20 years ago, when Kay was 10 and I was 17, our parents cashed in their savings in retirement, quit their careers, called in every favor they could, pushed in all of our family chips, and we became a restaurant family overnight.
Now, if you know anything about having a business, running a business, starting a business, owning a business, then you know that a business is a lot like a baby, and it needs a massive amount of attention. And so you can't really know your sisters, Kay and Shi, without having a little bit of context as to our third sister of the bunch, the Squeeze In.
Right. She's technically older than us, but when she joined our family, it became a baby again, as we learned how to be a family business, how to run a restaurant style business, and how to ultimately grow it from that one failing location that mom and dad bought back in 2003 to the thriving franchise and company stores that it is now. We've got 10 locations. We're expanding across the Western United States. And all of that sounds so amazing. But the 20 years has been quite the up and down roller coaster journey that's been, shall we say, unbelievable.
Unbelievable indeed. But isn't life sometimes, right? My goodness.
Think about it. You can say unbelievable.
Unbelievable, right? You just never know what kind of unbelievable you're facing in this wild journey.
You know what? It's all believable.
Because it wouldn't be believable. You wouldn't even be able to conceive it if you weren't able to believe it in the first place. So we digress. Let's get into a little bit more about Squeeze In. Now, you've heard us say that Squeeze is a breakfast and lunch restaurant. We are known for our omelets. If you're watching on video, I'm checking out our menu right here. Now, we've been featured on Food Network's Throwdown with Bobby Flay and in all kinds of neat national media outlets. Recently, Shi, at our franchise development conference, it was our first one ever. So proud. What a milestone for us in our business. We were talking about how it kind of feels like Squeeze is growing up.
Right. It feels like our sister has officially turned 18, right? She's selected a college. She's out of the house. She's no longer under the care of.
She's found a long-term CEO and his boyfriend.
Yeah. And we're so glad that she did. And it's so fun to reflect back and to be at this place now, to see it grow. Some of the things that make Squeeze In so famous, if you're watching on video, first of all, you can see it is so bright in here. It is bright colors. The walls look like the sunrise, and you can sign the walls. This is probably the most notable thing about the Squeeze In, the most memorable thing that people will tell you. You can sign the walls with a Sharpie, but of course the eclectic vibe doesn't end there. We've got paintings, we've got bikes and sleds and skis and all kind of aliens and hot air balloons, all hanging from the ceilings. It's quite the decor that it takes you a long time to get to see it all.
I'm not sure if we've ever laughed over this pun together, Shi, but we'll laugh over it with our family. Would we say that signing the wall is Squeeze In's signature?
It is, alongside amazing mimosas. And then obviously our tagline is the best omelets on the planet. And that's because this is a breakfast and lunch restaurant. 7 hours a day. In fact, it's 6.5 operating hours a day. It's only 47 hours a week. It's one of the best business models for a family to run and still have some sense of normalcy along the family lines at night and in the afternoon.
Now, the vibe and the food and the offerings and the decorations on the walls are all one thing, but Squeeze In is really made by the people who inhabit the four walls, the guests who come in every single day, the people that this place attracts, the associates that work inside, our leaders who run their teams so effectively. Now, it all operates and all hinges on these quality individuals who day after day come forward and show the love and share the love with one another.
That's why we have such a simple mission statement, and that is happy guests, happy associates every day. It's just 6 words, 3 really powerful ideas that encapsulate everything that we're trying to do. We are a community-oriented business that gives back. We are dedicated to a high level of safety and sanitization standards within our 4 walls. Our hospitality is something that is legendary, but all of that can get encapsulated in those 3 simple concepts. Happy guests, right? It's all about making sure that when we call them guests here, not customers, when they join us, they feel like they're part of that family and that they leave feeling happy, even if they're not necessarily starting out that way. Then happy associates, right? What do we know about happy guests? They're going to be happy when they're served by happy people. And the food is cooked by happy people. You can feel it. You can tell, right? When they've got that love. And so that's that second piece, right?
We want to say, shiny, happy people serving food
at the Squeeze. That's what happens here. I love that. But it all falls down if we don't get that third piece, which is the everyday, the consistency piece. If you come in every day, if you come into one location or another, that when you can expect that signature on the wall, that signature mimosa to taste the same, and that signature level of legendary hospitality, that's really the secret to making something expand. At least that's one of the things we learned over the last 20 years of growing a business.
What I love so dearly about those 6 words, happy guests, happy associates every day, is that it allows almost the thrumming, a heartbeat of the business to be communicated across the board. Another structure that we put in place to help those people communicate some more of those soft skills are our company values. Our company values are a beautiful way to help our associates make decisions day to day that prioritize the guest and then also keep the company in mind. Those values are show the love, provide an experience, live to serve, and grow. And we came through to these at a format, which is a yearly retreat that we take with our managers. It's changed over time and will continue to evolve. But we got to a point back in 2014-ish where our dad was like, you know what we need? We need a little format, like a little thing.
We get everybody together, and it's like a little format, and you get them all together and you go over an agenda and you look at numbers and stuff and you take them off site, not like in one of the restaurants, a little format. And we're all like, oh, Dad, that's called a retreat, right? But it was so funny and so colloquial that, you know what, here it is.
Now it's called format.
10 years later, it's still called format. And it's one of the things that we were able to test that leadership bonding material and things that we're learning in the Neuroencoding Institute and about neuroscience and all of the things that we learn, just like you do with a sister, right? We bring it back to our crew here that's got almost 200 employees. And we say, here's some of the tools that we found have been most helpful in creating, honestly, what we think is the most important asset, which is that positive mindset and attitude, so that no matter how you get squeezed, you like what comes out.
One of the things that's been most fulfilling for us in owning a restaurant is being able to have a positive impact on the lives of the people who both work and dine here. It's been incredible to have people come into the 4 walls and then leave and come back and say, the skills that I learned while with you weren't necessarily food service related, but I took them with me beyond Squeeze In. It's a vibe. Like I hope you're feeling it from our cards, and maybe we can energetically transfer it to you. But Squeeze In, it's like a whole vibe. It's a vibe and a half, and we're part of it. But it is its own beautiful entity, and it inspires, I think, community and connection in a way that softens individuals more to the optimistic perspectives of life.
Right. That's what that morning is all about, right? The essence of morning time is that new day, that freshness, that fresh start. And that's what the breakfast, brunch, and lunch at Squeeze In is all about. It's just having that, what we like to call kind of the mini vacation, right? Sometimes you travel for 4 to 5 days. And when you go out to eat, you've got 45 minutes. And we want to make that a little mini vacation for your mind, for your belly, for your spirit, for your family, for your relationships, for your business meetings. And we've had so many cool memories inside of the Squeeze In. It's amazing to think about the literal hundreds of thousands of people who have a graduation in one of our restaurants, who have a first date in one of our restaurants, who bring their kids for the first time time, who finally have a mimosa while they feel like it's okay for their kids to play with their basket of toys.
Come on.
One of the best things about Squeeze-In, we bring toys for the kids, right? But it's this kind of environment that allows that 45-minute feeling of vacation, of relaxation, and allows them to leave as the mission statement tells you, happy guests.
One of our proudest business accomplishments is what we've been able to do with Squeeze-In franchising.
The Squeeze-In is a breakfast lunch restaurant featuring the best omelets on the planet, and it's been around for almost 50 years. And now you can have a Squeeze-In in your community.
We've seen how this business transformed our families, and now we are so excited to offer this to families around the country to see how this little restaurant might change their family and their community.
If you're wondering how to set up your adult children for legacy and success through a small business, then the Squeeze-In is an option we urge you to consider. Come find out more about Squeeze-In franchising at squeezein.com.
We're talking leadership this week, and one of the organizations we are so proud to be at the helm of is the Neuroencoding Institute.
We got to co-found the Neuroencoding Institute alongside Dr. Joseph McClendon III, amazing world-renowned neuropsychologist and incredible mentor and teacher. If you're at all interested in learning more about what the Neuroencoding Institute does and what it can do for you, please visit neuroencoding.com.
You're enjoying this episode on Angel Phoenix Productions Podcast Network. To explore a complete lineup of quality programs and media production services, head on over to angelphoenix.com or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Angel Phoenix Productions.
Love that, you say that people come in for these specific things. In fact, earlier in March, we were in a news interview for International Women's Month. And the interviewer says, people come to Squeeze-In all the time. This is for Sunday mornings, for celebrations, after they run half marathons. And after the interview, we asked her, so have you come to Squeeze-In after a half marathon? She's like, I sure did. That was for me. But we are not the only ones who share special memories and experience in and with this place. It touches the individuals who come in, the hundreds of thousands of people who get to eat at Squeeze-In each year. And one of the other pieces that is so fulfilling about what we get to do is that our family dream of owning Squeeze-In and building Squeeze-In is now a family dream that we've been able to make available to others. And we see others building the Squeeze-In dream, just like our family did all those years ago, now doing it in their communities too.
It was about 10 years ago that a couple of different things entered our lives that really changed the trajectory. One of them is joining the John Maxwell team and finding John Maxwell's work on leadership. We were able to, from that, bring a very significant shift in perspective in the way that our organization was run. And ultimately, it was better set up for success. But the other decision that we made in 2013 was to explore the idea and avenue of franchising, right? You can imagine the first 10 years of the 20-year block, our family is learning the business side by side, they're doing it together. We opened 3 more locations. After we buy the one, we open 3. It's been 10 years. We're at 4 locations. But we are maxed. We don't have any more family. We definitely don't have any more money.
Oh no, mom and dad were living in Shai's living room. It was not good.
That is not a joke, right? And we weren't sure what we were going to do. So, we knew that this concept needed to grow, but we were out of the ability to grow. And so we started looking at what are the ways to grow, and franchising came forward. And as we started to explore what franchising is, we got really excited and energized, because what it really was the path to give other families the chance to own a Squeeze-In in their own community and do what we did and have that ability to control their own time, to be a positive impact in their community, to still spend evenings and nights with their families, and to do something of meaning and worth for them that could create a legacy they could pass to their kids, like our parents did with us.
Well, and without all of the headache that our parents had to go through along the way, learning the lessons the hard way, which is one of the reasons that we brought in a professional, and we brought in a professional industry CEO to come in and really help to make sure that our systems were ready so that anyone could just drop right into them and succeed inside this model. And so Squeeze-In has been a wonderful vehicle for our family. It's now been a vehicle for other families. If it's something that interests you, we encourage you to go to squeezeinfranchising.com. But before we do, Shai, I think we should probably answer a couple of questions.
Okay.
Before we end out today. Now, the first thing we got to know, what are you eating right now at Squeeze In?
Oh, okay. What's the favorite? My favorite is in alignment with a lot of people's favorites out there. So if you go on Yelp or anything, you're going to see people talk about these. They are the Jack Johnson banana walnut pancakes, and they are so good. They are pancakes cooked fluffy to perfection with walnuts inside, and then sauteed bananas and butter and honey on top. Doesn't need syrup. It doesn't need anything but 5 minutes for you to scarf it down because it is so good. So the Jack Johnson banana walnut pancakes is definitely what I am eating right now. Kay, what are you eating?
Well,
right
back in 2010, we were on the Food Network Throwdown with Bobby Flay, and our Racy Tracy, the omelet, famous here at Squeeze In, that includes bacon, avocado, mushrooms, and jack cheese, went up against Bobby Flay's Spanish Flay that had red peppers. It had fancy New York cheese and Argentinian peppers and all of this fancy oil. But after the contest, we ended up putting that a modified version of that omelet onto our menu, and it is called the Spanish Flay. It has red peppers, jack cheese, chorizo, and that's all sauteed in butter with some potatoes inside the omelet, and then you've got smoked paprika in that mixture as well. So I've been getting that.
Hungry,
so good
right now.
But y'all know that we are vegetarian. If you don't know that, now you do, that we are vegetarians. And so Squeeze In is a wonderful place for vegans and vegetarians or gluten-free people who would like to have their food modified, and you'll never be shamed for wanting to modify your food. So I like to have a little extra fresh veg on my omelet. I'll add avocado and spinach into it, and I'll swap out that chorizo for our vegan Beyond sausage. And then of course, gotta have them crispy hash browns on the sides.
Oh, good. And they all come with a sauce option too. We're not even going to get into that. The next question that everybody asks, what is with the alien?
What
yes.
are you doing?
Yes, if you are listening, you aren't seeing that we're holding up. We have a friendly alien mascot, and he has been our mascot for a very long time now. The origins of the alien are, we had a very famous skier, of course, Truckee, California is a ski town. Daryl Reeves signed the wall, best omelets on the planet. And we said, hey, that sounds like a pretty good tagline there. At the same time, we had a old wooden alien. Now, you've heard of flamingos in the front lawn. Well, our grandpa, who is a famous woodworker, he makes wooden aliens with little stakes in their feet, and you can put them as lawn ornaments. Now, in high school and elementary growing up, these aliens were part of our yard decor. The neighborhood would steal them and abduct them and bring them back. We'd put them in huddles on Super Bowl. They were a fixture of our family, but one by one, they broke until the last wooden alien made it. And mom and dad bought the Squeeze In, and he went up in the window, and everyone kept asking, well, what's with the alien? And we love the tagline. And now you know the story of the alien mascot. He's the one that professes that these are the best omelets on the planet. He would know.
He would
travels
know.
the solar system.
He travels all over, and probably all over this planet as well. So take it from our resident alien that these are indeed the best omelets on the planet. And we can attest as well, having eaten here on nearly every day for the last 20 years. Squeeze In has delicious food. It has incredible people. It has the most amazing guests. If you've already been a guest at the Squeeze In, thank you so much for supporting our family's business. None of this happens without all of you and without the choice and the decision to celebrate your mornings one mini vacation at a time. And you know that all of this comes at you with so much love from your sisters, Kay and Shi.
Squeezing in from the Squeeze In.
This podcast was a production of Angel Phoenix Productions. Explore more episodes of this show or other great shows on the Angel Phoenix Podcast Network by visiting angelphoenix.com. The views expressed in this show do not necessarily represent those of Angel Phoenix Productions or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.